evidence. The state's evidence included witnesses that were obviously that just don't pass the laugh test. It included the judge denying defense motions about any kind of questioning of the evidence. It included all kinds of procedural, gross procedural violations that we're absolutely persuaded that the marijuana was planted in his car and that there was a tremendous cover-up effort, including having all the security cameras at the police station and the vicinity of the police station on the day that he was arrested, and there are about 16 of them, all of them magically being out of order on the morning of his detention. So there were too many pieces of falsified evidence that for me to even start to elaborate with you now.
That's Rachel Denber, Deputy Director of the Europe and Central Asia Division of Human Rights Watch, and Dunja Mijatovic, who is also the Human Rights Commissioner at the Council of Europe, of which Russia is a member, has also said she's dismayed by the verdict of the court sentencing Oyub Titiev to 4 years in a colony, as she puts it, in a penal colony. You're listening to World Update from London.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckleman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can wherever you are.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Charlie, come me try cash no. The way me who man me suspect some Virginia to me pacho send you ntem when I was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we friend why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o.
If I join your message.
Oh, Kobe, maybe you can call me. Charlie, my yes, so rough. From back, why?
Hey Joe, Mr. Come messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. No mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say who to me do MoneyGram? Oh, mobile money wallet to more Ghana ha. Zipay and a tire tree. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent to be our.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedi sa Charlie.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800 032 6798 or 0208 665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust.
I know. So improve your but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be brave. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Say UK abai betimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what they are school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so to me and your KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from so we up to £21,000, no. I buy your school fees near the end amount. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nesika nefetria wo fees, but degree. All I can see sometimes.
Are you planning to get onto the property ladder? Are you thinking of getting into the property business? Do you live in a council flat? Do you live in a house and flat or house? Then join us this and every Thursday on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, 9 p.m. this and every Thursday, where we speak to the experts in the industry, the professionals in the property industry, where they show us and talk about the secrets in the property industry. It's booming. You can't afford to miss it. And also, you will learn how to start or get your first property without your own money. Join us and spread the news.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing people's secrets. Don't be a busybody. And some people.
Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Charlie, come me try cash no. The way me who man me suspect some Virginia to me pacho send you ntemo and I was na kiko to draw pharmacy problem sisia. Who saka we friend why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o.
If I join your message.
Oh, Corey, let me try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, Mr. Come messages no why. Nyabutrema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh, mobile money wallet to more Ghana ha. ZPay and a tree. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent to be out.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Charlie.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK. Show.
This is Starr Radio
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And it is Tuesday, the 19th day of March 2019. And once again, let me welcome you all to the program, Starr Radio UK. To my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, who will be updating us from Nigeria exactly at 11 o'clock. To my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis as well. Massive good morning to you. To Mr. Dave West, thanks for a lovely reggae time last night. To this dawn, it was a pleasure sleeping and hearing some nice Kiteke moves. So good morning to all presenters on Starr Radio UK and management. We salute you. Mr. Mike Gillian, who will be coming your way this afternoon exactly at 1 o'clock with the Caribbean Focus program. Mike, morning to you. I hope you are doing very well. So, to my personal brother HB, wherever you are, good morning to you. To Auntie Mary, Mrs. Mary Bruce, ma'am, good morning to you. To my bishop himself, Reverend Dr. Francis Okununu, Mama Eugenia Nunu, I salute you all, men of God and women of God. Yes, to my brother himself, all the way in Aberdeen. Felix, morning to you. I hope you are doing very well. And then to Captain One himself, Captain Felix Thatcher as well in Sweden. Good morning. My second producer, Malik. Good morning to you. That is Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama. And then to the lovely, lovely, jubbly Mr. Kuvia Lee, Ambassador Light for ECOWAS. To Mr. David, Mr. Davidson, all the way in the US of A, David in France, Esrahin in Ghana, Kavaraevit in Minnesota, US of A, Brad Kwame in Maryland. I salute you all, guys. Regina Aban and Lady Caroline, thank you very much for another program yesterday. And then to Tony Williams, yeah, that was a smasher as well. Thank you very much for your programs that you presented. For good work being done there. Let me say morning again to Roz Roti, coming your way this afternoon from 4 to 6 with no other program than the one and only Inside on Starr Radio UK. Good morning goes to Ross. My apologies. Nana Efia Sewarakoto. I hope you are doing very well and the family as well. My producer Bob France says, good morning. How are you doing? And to your mom, great as well. Salute you all. Well, it is a Starr Radio UK morning show. Of course, the Tuesday edition. To every one of you who has tuned in this morning that I failed to mention your name or acknowledge you, let me do it better. Hello and good morning and welcome to the program. So by one program outline, what will be happening? I'll be bringing you the quote for the day, the weather forecast, and then the travel update. Of course, then I'm going to bring you some lovely music and some updates from the UK front. Then we'll move on to 11 o'clock when Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI will be joining us from Lagos, Nigeria, bringing us updates from Nigeria. As he said yesterday, he's doing his best to see whether we can get some entrepreneurs or business entities on the program before he finds his way to the UK. So you don't know what's in the corner, so continue to listen to us. Let me say good morning to Mr. Abiola Olanien. Okay? I think I got it right. You know, I'm doing good. To Reverend Emmanuel Chidi as well, I salute you, man of God. But tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Starr Radio UK Morning Show is on. Happiness is near. Tell them to share. Share, share, share. To all of you celebrating your birthdays today, yes, we say happy, happy birthday to you all. Okie dokie do. Okay, now I'll be bringing you the code for the day and the weather forecast, and then we'll move on to the travel update. But let's take this tune on the background. Edith Morrison, What Makes You Great?
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am.
Okay, so what does it quote for the day say? It says, if you are short-sighted, you will only consider the short-term pleasures without regard for the long-term negative consequences of your decisions. Let me take it again. If you are short-sighted, you will only consider the short-term pleasures without regard for the long-term negative consequences of your decisions. And that's why I always say, whatever decision you're going to be making today, think through it properly. Because it's going to have a negative or a positive impact to your future. And what are you going to do? Somebody say it's easier said than done, but well, consider and look forward to the future. That is just by way of the quote for the day. Now let's move on to the weather forecast for today. Jesus. For the weather front, largely dry with a few sunny spells, but often a good deal of cloud. Just a small chance of the odd light shower, a mild day ahead. And then tonight will be dry with mostly cloudy skies, although one or two clear interludes are quite possible. A milder night. Same for now, yesterday. When it comes to the temperatures, the temperature is going to be 14 degrees, always going to be 8 degrees. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset is going to be at 18, 11, and sunrise for tomorrow morning, 0607 hours. Wow. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you. This is for London and the southeast of England.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
That's why forever call you great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great is to be praised. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. This I celebrate.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a dog fade.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you, and it is Starr Radio UK, your African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to our money man, Mr. Dan Tabri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and to Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri, and the girls. I say massive good morning to you, to Pastor Salome and Pastor Joseph Ado, all in Milton Keynes Bible Life Family Ministries. I salute you all to Mr. Joseph Arthur, wherever you are, PK, aka good morning to you, to Mr. Eric Nanesi Morton, good morning, aka Dr. Morton as well, and to Brett Yuba, Mama Watch. Here back with you this Mr. Chemfrin Paul until easy. I hope you're all doing very, very good. But once again, I welcome you to the program. Share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. And it is Starr Radio UK once again. Now let's move on to some of the events on our road this morning. But before then, a quick commercial break and I'll be with you. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes, keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the road, so we keep you navigated. I promise our bond. The Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:45 onwards. It's now 10:45 from the House of London. On the travels this morning here in London, Bakerloo Central, Circle District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City lines are all in good service on the underground. Now, when it comes to TFL Rail, DLR London Tram Lane, good service as well. Apart from the London Overground, what is happening with that? It's got a reduced service, but like I announced yesterday, from Monday the 18th of March until further notice, there's going to be reduced service between Gospel Oak and Barking. Trains will run every 30 minutes. Supplementary bus services will also operate every 30 minutes as well. Yes, but you know what you have to do under such conditions. All that you got to do is to just keep your eyes on the roads. Now, on the riverbank this morning, RB1, RB1S, RB2, RB4, RB5, RB6, Thames River services will literally all in good service. Now, let's move on to the National Rail. Let me tell you what is happening. But you know what? Keep your eyes on the roads. Now, on the National Rail this morning, Cross Country has got special service in the Great Western Railway, special service Great Anglia, special service ScotRail, special service and Southern, special service as well. And what do we say to that? Keep your eyes on the roads. Now, finally, let me bring you to the major roads in London. On the A2, there are closures there. Blackwall Tunnel has also got closures. Now, Central London Red Routes closures there as well. Well. That brings us to the end of the travel update for you today on Starr Radio UK. Time now 10:47. But you know, on that note, I say good morning to you. Enjoy your commute for today, but keep these eyes on the roads.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn. Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK. The time now is 10:48 from the hearts of London. Let me bring you my first carefully selected choice of song, and then we'll continue with the show. But a quick update from what is happening in the UK front. We'll be coming back to it though. But some of the news happening. That's what somebody said. May to press on despite Becker ruling. Ministers aim for a vote on the PM's Brexit deal next week after the Speaker rules it must be changed first. Now, what do you think about that? England water shortage within 25 years. Wasting water should be a taboo as blowing smoke in a baby's face, says environmental agency boss. And then tributes paid to hotel crash victims. And then Adam vows never to say gunman's name. That's the Prime Minister of New Zealand. And the grime music being stifled. That's what MPs say. Okay, so this and a lot more I'll be having a look at before we move on. Okay, so just stay tuned. Don't turn it down. We take this song from one of the best that I've come to love in this recent times, and that is no other person than the Ghanaian gospel artist Joe Metal, who says turning around. Whatever situation that you're going through, whatever the challenges are, I bet you that if you stick to it, if you continue to have hope and believe and press on, things will turn around. Don't throw in the towel. Not yet, brother, sister. Don't throw in the towel. Mother, daughter, father, son. Don't throw in the towel. Just continue to hold on to your faith. Enjoy this song, Turning Around, from Joe Metal, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Romans 8:28 says that all things will work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Listen, whatever you're going through is working for you. Don't give up. Listen. If a man be in Christ, he is a new creation. All things are past, behold, all things are new. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. What I'm going through is working out for me. Oh, everybody say,
if a man be in Christ, he is a new creation. All things are past, behold, all things are new. Whom the Son sets free is truly free. And
what I'm going through is working out for me. Say, I will be the head, not the tail. Above, not beneath. No weapon from the gates we shall prosper. It's turning around for me. Everybody say,
I will be the head, not the tail.
Above and not beneath.
Not beneath.
No weapon from the gates
we shall prosper.
Yeah.
It's turning around for me.
I see everything
turning around for my good.
So turning around
for my good.
It's turning around
for my good.
I see everything
turning around for my good.
Turning around,
turning around for my good.
turning around, say.
Turning around for my good.
If a man be in Christ, he a new creation. All things are past, behold, all things are new. Whom the sun set free is truly free indeed. What I'm going through is working out for me. See, I will be there, not the tail, above and not beneath. See, no weapon from against me shall prosper. Come on, everybody, lift your voice with me. One more time. I will be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. Say no weapon from against me. I'm more than a conqueror. Say it's turning around for me. I see everything turning around for my good. It's turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. It's working in my favor. Turning around for my good. I am more than a conqueror. Turning around for my good. Turning around, say turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. Hey. Turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. Turning around for my good. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Turning around. Turning around for my good. Take me up. 1, 2, See, I will be the head, not the tail, above and not beneath. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Come on, it's turning around for me. I will be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Turning around for me. I see everything turning around for my good. I am victorious. Turning around for my good. 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 If you really believe it, come on, lift your voice and confess it with us. For my good. Everything is turning around.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone,
all around the world.
This is the morning show with Archie. This is the morning show with Archie. This is the morning show with Archie.
Yeah, everything turning around for my good. I hope that this music is turning your situations around for your good as well.
It's working in my face. Turning around for my good. I am more than a
Of course, it is the Starr Radio UK Morning Show, the Tuesday edition. With me, your one and only Archie. But tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Starr Radio UK Morning Show is on. If you're watching us live on Facebook, share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Turning around.
May God turn every situation around for your good. Yeah, though there might be what as some people would term it, too bleak to be talked about.
See, I will be the head, not the
or worse off than anything. But believe you me, some way, somehow, He gets us through it.
Oh, come on. It's turning around for me. I will be the head and not the tail. Above and not beneath.
So good morning to Caroline Owosudifie. Good morning. Lady C, I hope you are doing very well. And to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi as well. I salute you all.
Oh my God. I am victorious. Turning around for my good. 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 If you really believe it, come on, lift your voice and confess it with us. For my good. Everything is turning around.
6:57 is the time. Starr Radio UK is the station. The morning show, the program. Of course, I am the one and only Archie. I hope you've been able to make some or do some few moves when it comes to the music and dancing to celebrate your Almighty God or whoever you believe in. But hey. Starr Radio UK, Bahupe.
Promise you good health, good life. Whatever you're going through is just temporary. It's pushing you into the right direction. Turn it around.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe Metal. Okay, Minister Joe Metal, for a wonderful song like that, and I hope that you enjoyed it. But in the Starr Radio UK morning show, there's a special program coming to take place in the UK, and I want you to just get the grips and understand what is going to be happening. And that is the Lady to Lady conference that will be taking place in the UK come this Saturday. But let me do it better by getting the announcement on.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
Okay, so the ladytoladyconference.org. They're inviting you to that program. Make sure that you find your way to their place. It is in the Excel Conference Center. And it's going to be taking place this Saturday. Saturday is the 23rd of March at London Excel Center. Doors open exactly at 10 a.m. Be there. You want to register? It is at www.ladytoladyconference.org. Your life will have more meaning and a purpose. Okay, so it is Starr Radio UK. Time now, tick-tock, 11 o'clock, and pretty soon we'll be having Miss OLAYOMI KOIKI joining us. Now, this afternoon exactly, the program will be brought to a close exactly at 10 minutes to 1. Then at 1 o'clock exactly, we'll have in the hot seat right now, we'll be having Mr. Mike DeLeon, who will be bringing you the Caribbean Focus program. That you want to enjoy some teen music and then know what is happening around the Caribbean area. My goodness, in South America area, you have all coming your way. He's going to bring you updates and bring you all the weather phenomenon that's happening there. But now let's move on to some of the other stories making their rounds here in the UK. Now, the government says it will try to get Theresa May's Brexit deal through the Commons, despite Speaker John Bercow throwing the process into doubt. Now, Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay suggested a vote could take place next week after Mrs. May has sought a delay to Brexit from the EU. Mr. Bercow has ruled that the Prime Minister cannot bring her deal back for a third vote without substantial changes. The UK is due to leave the EU in 10 days with or without a deal. The Prime Minister had hoped to have another try at getting MPs to back the withdrawal deal she has agreed with the EU this week. But Mr. Bercow effectively torpedoed that with his surprise intervention yesterday. That's Monday. The Speaker had made a serious ruling and ministers were giving it serious consideration. That's what Mr. Stephen Barclay said this morning. He said it was important to respect the referee and abide by his decision, but he added, Mr. Bercow himself had said in the past that if Parliament was guided only by precedent, then nothing ever would change. You got it? Okay. Now, Mr. Bercow cited a ruling from 1604 to justify his decision to block a third vote after the Prime Minister's deal was rejected for a second time last week by 149 votes. Now, Mr. Barclay suggested that the MPs will find a way to get another vote if the government manages to persuade enough of them, including the 10 Democratic Unionists, to change their minds and back the deal. He suggested it will also depend on Theresa May getting clarity from the EU on the terms of an extension to Brexit. Now, he accepted that there would now have to be a short extension to the Article 50 withdrawal process if the deal gets through Parliament to get the necessary legislation through. But Mrs. May is now expected to ask EU leaders for a lengthy delay to Brexit as she continues to seek backing for her deal from the DUP and Tory Brexiteers. Mr. Barker refused to discuss his decision when quizzed by the BBC as he made his way to Parliament earlier today. Government ministers and MPs have been flouting different ideas on how to get a vote on the Prime Minister's deal in light of the Speaker's ruling. So I bet they are also going to go and check few stuff which will back whatever they are also doing. But interestingly, now you brought a deal to the House of Parliament. Initially, you had 200 plus voting against, 240 something voting against it. Then some call it a month on, you bring the deal back, and now you have up to 146, so it's dropped. That's why yesterday, when we were doing some of the review of the stories here, Frank did mention that, look, she might have a chance because it keeps on dropping. So maybe if they continue to persuade people to look at things the way they are looking at it, that would be good. But this morning I had a chance of watching Good Morning TV, Good Morning Britain TV, where the former Prime Minister Tony Blair was on, and he made some things very clear there, throw more light on some of the issues that is going on. And he didn't talk about the backstop, and he's talking about the fact that we want to live without it. We want to just leave the place. We want to leave the what do you call it, the common market and stuff like that. Meanwhile, we don't want to put the control of movement. We know that when it comes to the Irish, we have the Northern Ireland and then we have the Republic of Ireland. Now, there is movement of the people there because they are families. They move up and down the place. Now you say, okay, now because that part is part of the UK and this is part of the EU. Now, if we leave, after these people, we will allow them to be doing their moves like that. We will allow them to trade among themselves without any restriction. That's what we want. But you cannot have that and say that still, but we want to depart or detach ourselves from the EU totally. And that's where the banter is. But the problem now with the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Becker's statement, he's saying that if you call on, 2 times coming with the same thing, people say, no, we don't like that. Go and negotiate and bring it back. Then you go, you just swing a bit there, maybe take the dot from the eye and just do it like they say, that is L, and then bring it in. They said, okay, now we still don't want it. Now he's saying that now if you want to bring your deal to Parliament for the 3rd time, then there should be a significant change in it. But quoting from the 16th, the 17th century, now they're saying, we don't want to look at that. That's a bad precedent. So what do you think about all that? I wanted to have your take once the lines are open. But it is Starr Radio UK. 6 minutes past the top of the hour is the time. We'll be having Miss OLAYOMI KOIKI joining us in a jiffy. But you stay tuned and don't think about touching the dial. Let me take the opportunity to also say good morning to HRH Linda Palian, wherever you are, Linda. I hope you are doing very, very good. And regards to Mr. Palian as well. Now, moving on to some other stories making the rounds here in the UK. Hanged girl death not predictable, and then Salah transfer flight probe urged. Okay, now let me bring you that. The 13-year-old girl who died after she was found hanged blamed herself for problems at home, a case review says. Now, Amber Pitt, who was found in a hedgerow in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire on the 2nd of June 2015 amid family problems. Now, Nottinghamshire Safeguarding Children Board, a review into her care, said the death could not have been predicted, but it found Amber's voice was limited and there was a perception she was to blame for many of the difficulties within the family. The review also found frequent moves of home and school had undermined agencies' efforts to help Amber. At an inquest last month, a coroner returned a narrative conclusion and said agencies had missed 11 opportunities which may have prevented Amber's death. But well, what happened? Okay, it couldn't have been predicted, and therefore, but Starr Radio UK is the station. We'll take one break and then we come back to you. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Chale, Komi, me try cash no. The way me hunya man me suspect some Virginia tro. Me pacho send you ntemo na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey chale ya wapa o. Oh, Komi, me go so try call no. Chale, my yes rough. From back, why?
Hey Joe, me sa come messages no why. Nyabutre mami, no pressure. Me chat to direct Moses here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh, mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. ZPay and a territory. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We be now MoneyGram agent biao.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedi sa Charlie.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust.
I know. So pesa ukowenim. Improve but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and our masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now dia ko school abo degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK abai ebetimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now dia your school fees abo degree. So, how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your bow degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your sassy KB. Now what your bow degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from so we up to £21,000, no. Abai bet your school fees near the end amount. Any for 079-0479-3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees. But degree.
All I can see, sometimes.
Are you planning to get onto the property ladder? Are you thinking of getting into the property business? Do you live in a council flat? Do you live in a house and flat or house? Then join us this and every Thursday on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, 9 p.m. this and every Thursday, where we speak to the experts in the industry, the professionals in the property industry, where they show us and talk about the secrets in the property industry. It's booming. You can't afford to miss it. And also, we will learn how to start or get your first property without your own money. Join us and spread the news.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org. Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Chale Komi, me try cash no. The way me huni man me suspect some medicine at all. Me pacho send you ntemo na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey chale ya wapa o. Oh, Komi, me go so try call no. Chale, my yes rough. From back, why?
Hey Joe, me sa come messages no why. Nyabutre mami, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh, mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. ZPay and a tayetri. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We be now MoneyGram agent biao.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Welcome back to the program. In your shots at the moment, you will see my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, who has been there for some time. But you don't see me. Don't you worry. You'll be seeing me pretty soon. Yomi, good morning.
Well, it is good afternoon from here, Lagos, Nigeria, once again, and good morning to all our listeners on the other side of the globe, or good day, depending on what part of the world you're listening from, as we have different time zone in different part of the world. It is good afternoon and welcome again to Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station, where we take you through, the update coming all the way from Nigeria. We go back now straight to the studio with Mr. Archie.
Yes, listeners, that is Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, our international correspondent on the ground in Lagos, bringing us updates from Nigeria. How is the weather today?
Well, the thing that a lot of people talk when it comes to Africa is the weather, and you could say, how is the weather? But how have we been using the weather should always be, the question on our lips. Where a country or a continent that has so much in terms of using the same weather that so many other part of the world will only wish that they have that same weather, and it gives vitamin C, like people might say. It goes for agriculture. It's good for solar energy. It also, it needs only to, as harsh as it could be, has its own benefit. But how have we been able to use that weather in this part of the world is the question on the lips of millions of Nigerians that wake up daily without a 24 hours constant electricity that we've not been able to use this same weather in the last 58 years.
Wow. That is a good one, because if we are harnessing what we can get out of the weather, oh my goodness, solar. And every house, but well, our leaders, they think they know better than we do. So, what is the INEC saying about Atiku?
Well, it's been a roller coaster, within the last, 24 hours with the PDP. I listened to, Mr. Segun Showumi, a very good friend of ours that we spoke to as well on Starr Radio UK while we were in Abeokuta for that interview. It was also, firing on the same way it did, just, last week when we were in Abeokuta. Atiku, PDP filed petition against Buhari's victory. There has been this, going back and forward where, the PDP is now saying declare Atiku a winner, or, as we know, there hasn't been any indication that INEC will release, that materials, even though INEC said that material is available when they did it. Let's take you through 19 days after the declaration of the President Muhammad Buhari as the winner of the February 23rd presidential election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has finally filed his petition against the victory of the poll. We know that there is about 20, senior advocate of Nigeria that will be going towards, that tribunal to represent the PDP. 400 witness. It's going to be, Segun Showemu, when I listened to him this morning, said, well, whatever the outcome is, but it's sometimes good to set the record straight. And maybe Nigerians will also use that as a template coming to the next election. He said Goodluck Jonathan should have done the same thing, but decided, to let it go. And maybe that was why that was repeated again. Atiku and his party are challenging the election of Buhari and his party, the All Progressive Congress, on grounds of alleged massive rigging, malpractice, and non-compliance substantially with the electoral law. I'll go back now straight to you in the studio.
Listen, I started the UK for you. Now, interesting. Now, why is the PDP accusing the president of his? He said his election. Okay, let me take it again. The People Democratic Party says that President Buhari posturing that he will not manipulate the March 23rd governorship election. That's what is going to be taking place. The supplementary elections, but information in the background or rumor is having it that now the president, his people, his party is calling on him to get involved, help them out. So they are saying that, look, if the president or the APC have to call the president to come and help us out to get the vote that we need. And when it was the presidential election, we had the support that we need. Then actually, they don't need the president to have done that. But because they think that it's not true, that the APC some way, somehow manipulated the election that went on, that is why the people are calling for them. That posture, do you think it resonates with everybody in Nigeria today?
Well, one thing is, the presidents, yes, there has been a lot of, the governors, especially the governors where, there has been inconclusive, in their election in the last 24 hours. Have been at the, Aso Rock to have meeting, with the president. And yes, we know, it's always been, within our election period that whenever the governorship election is coming up, be it, during this one that took place or the one that will be happening. Remember, there are some states that have already run the election before, prior to 23rd and the 9th of March, where we have the governorship election. It has always been that the mighty force of the presidency is always used, during this period. But the president is now saying that this time around, he won't be interfering, and there won't be any, interference from the, from the presidency, and the will of the people, will be prevailed depending on whether, the candidate are PDP or APC, and that again is a message coming, from the press release. I'll find out press release and we'll look into it in a much more detail. But one thing is that, yes, it has been, a roller coaster where some of the, the governors of this state are not happy. And why they are not happy, some of them are not happy with the process with INEC. So it's not just PDP that is not happy with this election that took place. We also know that the APC as well are not also happy as well, and that has been something that a lot of Nigerians are following.
Interesting. So the PDP is also saying that they are what do you call them? Let me use the right election. What the term that they use for them? Their reps are the
polling agents.
They are polling agents. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They are polling agents. They feel that polling agents are being intimidated. Now, have you had any evidence to that effect?
Well, there has been, pocket of allegation from both PDP and APC, and some of those allegations, like you mentioned, also went through to INEC, when they released, their statement that interference from even the military, has also been part of the process that took place in some part of the state. And from this morning, a lot of our listeners will have seen that we've posted, the response, of the Nigerian army as well, regarding to what INEC said, and that was mentioned on Sunday night during, a program here in Lagos when, the spokesman of INEC did mention, the interference and also the press release from INEC as well. But the army has also released theirs, indicating that this goes by what the army said. It is, however, pertinent to note that the representative of the 6th Division met with the fact-finding committee on Tuesday, 12th of March 2019 at the INEC headquarters in Port Harcourt, and had honest discussion and made a written submission to aid the committee in its task. Regrettably, none of the division's input form any of the finding of the INEC has made public. This clearly indicates lack of trust by the institution that the Nigerian army sacrificed so much to assist in the cost of performing their role. Genesis of the suspension of governorship and state House of Assembly election process in Rivers State. What INEC failed to mention or even consider is the fact that at about 10:30 p.m. on Saturday, the 9th of March 2019, troops of 6th Division of the Nigerian Army detailed at the outer perimeter of Obio and Akko local government headquarters collation center were brazenly attacked by Governor Wiki, security aid, and armed thug. So you could see that, it's not just the agent here now, even though we know that will be part of the tribunal court case now, that the PDP will be taken to court, when yesterday now they filed, their petition, and we'll be looking at what will be the next, and there's representative from the APC and how this whole process will play out, within the international community and also Nigerians living home and abroad.
Interesting. Now, with all this, what has the referee, that is the INEC themselves, said? Because now it looks like when the time we talk about Bene, Kano, Bauchi, all the places where they're going to be having this election come Saturday, it looks like people there's a bit of skepticism there, but as to whether INEC is saying, look, be rest assured, everything that you are complaining about, that you are worried about, it's all sorted, nothing will happen. What has the INEC said?
Well, you're right. INEC have said, the same thing, that the election we hold, there will be much more, support in terms of, any kind of interference from any hoodlums. There won't be any ballot snatchings and assault. So INEC is giving the assurance that the election coming up, this weekend precisely, will go ahead and there won't be any kind of problem. But that was mentioned, when the election held on the night, but yet we were able to see, certain problems in some states. But the information that INEC is giving out is giving that same assurance, of this election coming up on Saturday at this particular state, that this election will be held.
Well, listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and the time now is 11:28. We have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, bringing you updates from Nigeria. We've just been talking about the elections that took place and the ones that are supposed to have a rerun, and the skepticism from the opposition and the posture of the incumbent and what is going on. What is the referee saying? Are people going to turn out? Is there going to be a turnout better than what we saw during the election that took place a couple of weeks ago? Now, monitoring the posture of the people, the communities that these elections are going to be held in, do you think they are going to turn out better than what happened in the other states where you were saying that less than 50%, there was a less than 50% turnout?
Well, remember, both the PDP and the APC, who are the most, contestant of this election, each of their members, each of their state that this inconclusive election will be held. And I'm just going to read through, what PDP said, how ready they are for this supplementary election, as it's called. And I'm just going to put that out. And the same thing was what APC has been saying. PDP to APC, our party will win all the supplementary poll, says APC violent shenanigans will come to naught. The People's Democratic Party says it will win all the governorship supplementary elections scheduled for March 23rd, 2019, adding that the plans of violence and manipulation by the All Progressive Congress will be resisted by the people and summarily come to naught. So there has been, a message coming out from both parties, and you are saying whether, the people, remember, these are the individuals that will be going out to vote on Saturday, the 23rd. And these individuals are also being ready for this election as well in each of the states and the local government that the supplementary election will be held. Also, we know it's not just about the governorship. Also, some state House of Assembly will also take place. So it's not just the governorship. It will be some states that will also have, the supplementary for the State House of Assembly in their state as well.
Okay. Well, Starr Radio UK is the station, the morning show, the program. We're doing updates from Nigeria with Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI until he comes to London pretty soon. Yes, to bring you more about the Brexit. Okay, now let's look at other stories making the rounds in Nigeria, please, sir.
Yes, let's take a look at the, and this morning we are looking at, this day where we are looking at some of the stories trending in Nigeria, and we've also posted that as well, in our listeners and those that are watching us right on Facebook. Constituency have right to question. Correct me, says Senator, Ademola. It's been, one thing a lot of Nigerians ask us all the time is, accountability to those that are governing them, and until those are put in place and the measures put in place where those individuals can ask those questions. He's also, one of the, the senator for, is an APC, Senator Solomon Adeola of Lagos West has stated that his constituents are free to question and correct him in any areas of shortcoming in the performance of his legislative and representative duties. And this is what we want. We want a situation where Nigerians are free, to ask questions, just like we have the MP does their surgery, rather than where, the politicians look like the gods, where individuals are scared, to have engagement with them. And he was addressing members of his campaign team, compressing, this is 20 local government coordinator and 33 social media and volunteers, yesterday, just thanking them after the whole process of the election that took place where he won as well. Let's now look at, some other stories that is also trending in Nigeria as well, as we know this morning. Also, we also know that the Nigerian army, like I've mentioned, have responded back to INEC, not really happy. And we can also confirm that a gunman killed an army commander, Kingsley Inwezu in Abuja, on non-gunmen Monday, killed the garrison commander, 33 Artillery Brigade. Again, we know that there has been a lot of problems with the bandits and Boko Haram that the army are dealing with, but to also lose a commander, is a very, very tragic one as well. Let's look at some other stories as well. This is coming up. Enugu workers hails, re-election. The workers of Enugu State through the Nigerian Labour Congress have congratulated the governor Ifeyi, of Enugu State. Let's look at CBN, and this is very important. And I think we will stress most on this, as we know anything that can have job creation, anything that can have impact on Nigerians is very important. The Central Bank of Nigeria spent $500 million annually on palm oil importation. We keep importing into the country is one of the problems where we are not developing as a nation. We need to start producing rather than bringing the finished produce into the country. And this was a message from the Central Bank or the governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, yesterday. The governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin, on Monday said that over $500 million was being spent annually on importation of palm oil. Emefiele said this at a stakeholders meeting on palm oil value chain held in Abuja. Mr. ARCHIE, palm oil is much more expensive than the crude oil in terms of, the crude oil as of today is about 145 naira, while the palm oil is about almost 500 naira. So what is the problem? The meeting was attended by governors of Akwa Ibom, Edo, and Abia, and also the managers of Dangote Farm, Flour Mill, United Flour Industry, and so many other. Let me just read quickly through. Emefiele said it would be sad fact that the country was still importing palm oil in spite insufficient arable land. We just mentioned the weather when we started this program, and now let me just go straight to you in the studio, and then we might still touch on this particular story. Malaysia is the #1 in the world. In the 80s, we gave them the first seed where they started, this same, palm oil growing, and they've overtaken Nigeria, and we are still every day talking about how good the weather is when we are not using how good the weather is to produce the food and to make sure that Nigerians are all fully employed. Not everybody can do the 9 to 5 or work in the white-collar job, but farming is another area, and we must stop $500 million of importation of something that we can grow right here in Nigeria. Let's go back now to the studio with you, Mr. Archie.
Wow, Starr Radio UK. But Yomi, there's one interesting thing that you said, pertaining to the farming and the fact that we could produce, palm oil. Now, what incentive does government give to people who he thinks, virtually who they think that they can push them to that particular sector, and then we know that we can get up to about $500 million from that particular sector if those people are incentivized. Now, I don't see anything. Therefore, if you say, okay, the youth who are coming from uni, they should now go to the farm and go. Where? Which land are they going to farm on first? And then if they farm, it's not like you just plant the palm tree and then tomorrow or 3 weeks on it's grown and it's just bearing fruit. So it takes a bit of time. But if incentives are not given by government to these people, they will not want to go there. Everybody wants something that they can eat today, and then they can look at how they're going to survive tomorrow. If you don't live today, you cannot survive tomorrow.
Well, one thing I've always said is, it's good when they have this conference in a very comfortable environment, with the air condition. They are not really on ground to see, what an average person that is working hard in this same weather. Remember, we're still talking about the same weather that is so, hot out there, and farmers are working in an extreme, hot weather. It was mentioning that they've now been able to agree 100 acres each for a large scale of palm farming. Yes, it's good, 100 acres from each of these states that are interested. But by the time this goes down, the incentive that you are talking about doesn't get to the real people. I've followed a lot of agriculture WhatsApp group, and it looks like it's a daunting task that those groups, even though the government, and I remember about 3 years ago, we traveled down to Abeokuta, where they were having this same, kind of conference or summit or whatever you might call it. And Nigerians that were following me when I was doing the live broadcast, so they could, key in. And, a lot of them followed it up a little bit, where the governor then, he's going to be living now, good state, where, assuring, people to come and farm in their state, they will have land. But, it's not just having the land. You also need other things to work along with the land. You can have land, but what will be the incentive? You need the tractors. We are still using the manual, the cutlass and hoe. You need the seed. People need access to a bit of money to be able to go into farming. If not, we will continue to import everything that we eat and we consume and that we put on. We were talking about the textiles just yesterday, that the same CBN is refusing now to give Forex. And what is Forex? Dollars to anyone that wants to import anything textile into the country. And now we're getting $500 million being spent on something that we can grow right here in Nigeria. And if they don't have no more space, we might even move to Ghana and let them do some of the job for us. But that is not working yet, and that is just a big shame.
Interesting. Now, some breaking news that have just come through, the Guardian has published, is pertaining to the CGN, that's Chief Justice Walter Onogan, where he is accusing the federal government of tampering with his declaration form. So virtually, the charge that they are, whatever they are charging against him, he said, look, I could see, because when they sent a copy of that the declaration form, asset declaration form to him, he said he could see that they forged some stuff there. So it's virtually now turning into some circus there. Now, what do you want to say about that?
Well, the case of the CGN is something that has been brewing before the election. There has been a lot of things that have been mentioned, as at that time. And yes, I have been following, the story, but I'm just trying to pull out, this breaking news that you've just mentioned. But just before that, about 7 hours ago, just before this breaking news, what we know in regard, Buhari doesn't need NGC to appoint me, says the acting CGN. That is the acting CGN, responding. But if there's any, interference from what the CGN is saying from that breaking news that you are talking about now, then who was behind that? Who has been tampering with files, that have been kept somewhere to now manipulate it? But I'm sure, both his senior advocate of Nigeria that are representing him and the government lawyer will be looking into all these, and maybe that might open another kind of worms. And this is a country where worms gets open every now and then, whether during the election or just after the election as well. Wow.
Listening to Starr Radio UK, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI from Lagos, Nigeria, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Many feared killed in Boko Haram attack in Michika. Do you have any information pertaining to that? That is another fresh story coming through.
Well, there has been much problems, with the killings, not just within the Kaduna state that we know. I've been following the Nigerian army that also put a lot of information on their platform for us to be able to make use of. And if I just go down a little bit, as of now, they're having a high-level United Nations and European Union delegation to visit, the Nigerian JTF headquarters. This is also ongoing as we speak right now. But let me just also say that the troops are also doing everything. There was a repelled terrorist attack in Michika in Adamawa State. Boko Haram terrorists met their Waterloo, suffered heavy casualty yesterday evening. I mean, if this is happening as at yesterday evening in Adamawa State, that shows that the Boko Haram are still one hell of a problem that we need to deal with. And I hope this time around the presidency and the APC or the government of the day, which campaign in 2014, 2015, that they will wipe away Boko Haram, maybe before the end of their tenure, Boko Haram will not be something that we'll be talking on when we're having our updates.
Well, hopefully, keeping fingers and everything crossed. Now, before we go, Yomi, what else do you want to put across?
Well, the most important thing is that let us all continue to monitor from wherever you are watching or wherever you are to make sure that, the diligence of, the governances is important to the people. So if there's anything wrong, we shouldn't wait until there's collateral damage before, we talked about it. And I'm sure it looks like, the government, be it state level, federal, or the local, are also listening to people and they pick up information and sometimes they do respond to it. So it's time now that people also know their constitutional rights so that you can be able to defend yourself should there be any problems ahead. And on that note, we'll be back again tomorrow from a different location if possible, and we'll give you more of what is happening on ground just before we finish up our roundup here in Lagos, Nigeria, before we're heading back to United Kingdom, where we continue with the BRICS exit, like you said earlier on. And that is Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
All right. Thank you very much, Yomi. Have a wonderful day.
Bye for now.
Right, bye. Well, listeners, that is Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. And this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:45. Like I said earlier on, the program finishes exactly at 10 to 1, that is 12:50, to prepare the grounds for the Caribbean Focus program that will be coming your way. Your anchor man is Mr. Mike DeLeon, Big Mike. He'll be in the seat to bring you all the best when it comes to the teen music and name it and everything. He's just be smashing the airwaves with it, so make sure that you continue to listen to him when he brings you that program. But Starr Radio UK is the station, the morning show, the program. Archie, your man. Okay, we take a quick commercial break, and then once we come back, I'll bring you some lovely music, and then we go on to some of the news making the rounds here and other parts of the world. We're touching on what is happening in Africa, some African countries as well, and a lot more. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, save when new, save when partly worn.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is the morning show with Archie. This is the morning show with Archie. This is the morning show with Archie.
As they break, things is just the hard. No food to chop. Every day dollar they rise. See the people down they cry. Oh no 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 no. Pity for us. Pity for us. Politicians, please pity for us. I beg we they beg. See my people done they die. Please pity for us, politicians. Please pity for us. Oh no 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 no. I believe in Nigeria with all my life. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, with all my heart. Anywhere I go, Nigeria. Anything I do, Nigeria. Anywhere I go to Nigeria. See, my house is not for Nigeria. I invest in my Nigeria. Everything I plan for Nigeria. Politicians show some love. Oh no 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 no. Pity for us. Pity for us. Politicians have mercy on us. I beg we the beg. We don't care the thing done the bad. Please pity for us. Politicians, please pity for us. Oh no 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 no.
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
As we sit down, they complain today. Our
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
As we there for here, we they complain our only food for our body. Hey, search your conscience. We serve we no good. Make we live right. We serve we know they try. I don't say every day politicians steal our money. I don't say politicians carry our money go overseas. People they die. Politicians just a smile. Oh, people they die. Their children they overseas. Pity for us. Pity for us. Politicians have mercy on us. We don't they die. Anything we do, please pity for us. Politicians have mercy on us. Oh no 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 no. Hey, it's painful. Oh, my maker.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
Welcome back to the program. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire. Yes, welcome back. And it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. The time now 9 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 9 minutes to 12. Exactly at 10 minutes to 12 to 1. I'll be bringing the program to a close. And at 1 o'clock, who will be in the seat? The big man himself, Mr. Mike DeLeon. He'll be coming your way with the Caribbean Focus program. You want to listen to some lovely team music and what? Name it. He's going to be bringing all your way with all the news that is happening in the Caribbean area and to the weather phenomenon. I tell you, it's going to be a smash of a program. So all that you got to do is just to continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK when Mr. Mike DeLeon comes your way. But let's go to some of the other stories making the rounds in the UK, and then quickly we can go to some other stories in the world. But I'll open the line in the next 10 minutes, in the next 8 minutes for you to add your voice to the discussion. So don't go away. I'll give you the opportunity to do the same. Now, the UK unemployment UK employment at highest since 1971. The number of employed people in the UK has risen again to a new record number of 32.7 million people between November and January. Figures from the Office for National Statistics are said. Now, 76.1% employment rate is the highest since records began in 1971. Unemployment fell by 35,000 to 1.34 million in the period, putting the rate below 4% for the first time since 1975. Now, the figure of 112 per thousand, lower than a year ago, giving a jobless rate of 3.9%, well below the EU average of 6.5%. Now, average working weekly earnings, excluding bonuses, were estimated to have increased by 3.4% before adjusting for inflation, down by 0.1% on the previous month, but still outpacing inflation. The ONS senior statistician Matt Hughes said the employment rate has reached a new record high, while the proportion of people who are neither working nor looking for a job, the so-called economic inactivity rate, is at a new record low. The number of men in employment increased by 77,000 to reach a record high of 17.32 million in the 3-month period. The number of women in employment increased by 144,000 to reach a record high of 15.4 million over the same period. This was the largest increase in the number of employed women since the period February to April 2014. Meanwhile, the number of economically inactive people fell by 117,000 to 8.55 million, a rate of 20%, the lowest on record. And the number of job vacancies in the economy increased by 4,000 to 854,000. Employment Minister Alok Sharma said today's employment figures are further evidence of the strong economy. The Chancellor detailed in the last week's spring statement, showing how our pro-business policies are delivering record employment. Our jobs market remains resilient as we see more people than ever before benefiting from the earning a wage. By backing the government Brexit deal and giving certainty to business, MPs have the chance to safeguard this job track record. Okay, now I know. Now you know. Whatever story that you say, even if your wife is giving you trouble, you just talk, and just loop in the Brexit, and you say, yeah. You know, the uncertainty in Brexit is making your head turn around, and that's why maybe you're not showing some love and stuff like that. It keeps on going on. But well. Starr Radio UK is the station. The morning show is a program. And I'm your man, Archie. Now it's just 5 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll be going to some other parts of the world, but before then, a quick one. Brexit destroyer, Becca, bombshell ruling. That's what all the newspapers have captured today. But people don't become adults until they are 30s. That's another story there. And the England water shortage within 25 years. Pro-Brexit activists denies harassing MP. Tributes paid to hotel crash victims and refugees. Set up pop-up restaurant. And a newborn baby found in hospital toilets. Okay, now let's talk about people don't become adults until 30 years. Until they are 30 years, and then we'll move on from there. So if you're a parent and your child is still living at home, know that they are not adults yet, unless they are 30 years. If they're 30 years plus, you can just check them out now. Really? Now, have you ever been told grow up in your 20s or need an excuse as to why you still find cat videos on the internet really funny? Now, now you might have an official reason to why you're not acting like a mature adult. Now, people don't become fully adult until they are in their 30s, according to brain scientists. Now, currently in the UK laws, the UK law says you become a mature adult when you reach the age of 18. So, virtually 12 years more. The scientists who study the brain and nervous system say the age at which you become an adult is different for everyone. And I will agree with that 101%. Now, research suggests people age 18 are still going through changes in their brains which can affect behavior and make them more likely to develop mental health disorders. Now, Professor Peter Jones from Cambridge University said, what we're really saying is that to have a definition of when you move from childhood to adulthood looks increasingly absurd. It's much more nuanced transition that takes place over 3 decades. Now, he added, I guess systems like the education system, the health system, and the legal system make it convenient for themselves by having definitions. Now, when you reach 18, you can vote, buy alcohol, get a mortgage, and are also treated as an adult if you get in trouble with the police. Now, despite this, Professor Jones says he believes experienced criminal judges recognize the difference between a 19-year-old defendant and a hardened criminal in their late 30s. Now, I think the system is adapting to what's hiding in plain sight, that people don't like the idea of caterpillar turning into a butterfly, he said. Now, there isn't childhood and then an adulthood. People are on a pathway, they're on a trajectory. Now, Professor Jones is one of the number of experts who are taking part in a neuroscience meeting hosted by the Academy of Medical Sciences in Oxford. And this is what they've come out with. So, well, can we then say that we have to now move the voting age to 30 years? Because we think that now, by that time, they are properly matured, they know their left from their right, and therefore they can vote, they can get a mortgage, they can go buy alcohol. But until then, they are all kiddos. Yeah. What do you think about that? Interesting. But Starr Radio UK is the station. It's now almost 12 o'clock, and we're moving on to one other story from the UK front, and then we will go on to some world stories. And the one I want to talk about is the England facing water shortage within 25 years. Now, within 25 years, England will not have enough water to meet demand, the head of the Environment Agency is warning. The impact of climate change, combined with population growth, means the country is facing an existential threat. Sir James Bevan is expected to say in a speech he wants to see wasting water become as socially unacceptable as blowing smoke in the face of a baby. In a quote, he said, we all need to use less water, he's expected to say at a London conference. So James Bevan was appointed Chief Executive of the Environmental Agency, the public body responsible for protecting the environment and wildlife in England. In 2015, after a career as a diplomat, he's expected to say that in around 20 to 25 years, England will reach the jaws of death, the point at which, unless we take action to change things, we will not have enough water to supply our needs. Now, half of the problem is climate change, which means hotter and drier summers in the UK, he will add. And the other half of the problem is the UK's rising population, which is expected to increase by 8 million people by 2050, from 67 million now to 75 million. Now, so climate change plus growth equals an existential threat, he is expected to say, to our economy, environment, security, happiness, way of life. We can choose to ignore this problem, or we can choose to tackle it. So, waste of water. How do we waste water? So when you are home and you go to, we don't have to flush the toilet or what? Or we have to get one of the systems, like the one when you go to the, a public toilet place. When I say the public toilet place, maybe you go to a pub, you go to a restaurant, and the men, we have that bowl there that you can just weigh in it, and from time to time you have the water just dripping in and just washing everything off. Maybe every household has to fix something of that sort. So once in a while, maybe every 30 minutes, it just comes and then cleanses, just a small flush, just cleansing the system. But What ways are we going to be saving water? Less cleaning of your cars. And then what else? Watering of your gardens. Ooh, your grass. Ooh. Or having swimming pools. Yeah. What will it be? What will it be? Well, maybe we could do something about the environment itself, the weather phenomenon that we are going to be facing. Hot summers, drier summers, no rains, less rains, and stuff like that. But what do you think about all that? Starr Radio UK is the station. 2 minutes past 12 is the time. The morning show is the program. A commercial break and some lovely music, and we'll move on to some other stories. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Charlie, Connie, me try cash no. Do you have me man me suspect some Benjamin at all? Me pacho send you ntemo na I was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisia. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o. Oh, Kobe, maybe so try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, Mr. Come messages no why. Nyabutrema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct Moses here. So over money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh, mobile money wallet to more Ghana ha. ZPay and a tire tree. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent biao.
Well, Starr Radio UK is the station, the morning show, the program. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Bringing you some lovely music in a minute, but just stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.
Zaga, zaga, now. Been him alongside Reggie Rockstone. Kill them all and come back alone now. Zaga, Zow. Hey, my name is Moses. Not Salaman Bunde. Coffee when me name I was born on a Friday. We are Shanty high. Who know listen when me sing say. Every way you ask me one that thing day. My name is Moses. Not Salaman Bunde. Coffee when me name I was born on a Friday. We are Shanty try. Who know listen when me sing day. Every way you ask me one that thing day.
Rockstone, I grown up high.
Zaga, zaga, now. Been him alongside Reggie Rockstone. Kill them all and come back alone now. Zaga, Zow. Hey, my name is Moses. Not Solomon Coffee when me name I was born on a Friday.
This is Starr Radio.
You would ask me one that thing day. My name is Moses. Not Solomon Coffee when me name I was born on a Friday. Shanty try. Listen when me sing day. Daddy would ask me one that thing day. You got the body, you got the smile. Anywhere you go, you got the man, them going wild. In it on the way, the moon watch me profile. Because this a girl, you got style. Come on, look at me, that cool, I know you have me blood a boy. Just a pump come out, I know me pants on sprite. In a nigga, so this a boy that full of high. Every day me have a dozen new girl, I tell you. Got some girl up on side. Still there, come on, you got the body. Let me hear you show. You got the goody. Tell ball it out. My friend Reggie Rockstone, tell me last night, say one girl you have, nah. Chaka, poppy, chaka, poppy, chaka, poppy, move you, chuku, chaka.
God bless whoever made a microphone. Damn, must have had me in mind. Rock through, it was mankind. You're my tape, ain't even not yet. But I bet your finger stuck on the rewind button. Kill them about to happen. And the damn thing is whole wide wicked word that I can do. Like here's an example. I'm big enough to grab the moon out the sky to shoot. Ooh, wait, please tell me who you with. Sad and mad at me cause you got Mike Wick. Kick the bad habit. Rockstone has had it. Let's all get on the boys, think of it, damn it, hell, maybe rejecting it. The whole style dry like white folk jokes, so we're rejecting it. Too late, the rhyme's already committed. After the melody rhyme chase, I guess I got busted, disgusted. 512 mics on my ass, all rusted. Ain't on, man, took them dead. Couldn't be trusted, now I'm arrested. Original, raps of raw dog, Reggie Rock Stone. The flyest thing, never step behind the microphone. On the feedback tip, kid, I hold my own. I stand next to the man and you know, while I rip like the fat man's pants when they be doing a split. I came through to share with you my true manuscripts. I'm based on real life rhymes a hard time. Reggie Rock Stone, beating man, one up on the line. African, and you're feeling the feeling when you're feeling the feeling. Throw your hands up in the air, say, Reggie Rock Stone, Reggie Rock Stone.
Okay, so Starr Radio UK for you, the morning show here.
Whiny.
You want to join us on the discussions this morning? Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you're US or Canada, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. What it takes or WhatsApp is 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. One of the oldies from Reggie Rock Stone featuring Two-Face Idibia. Okay, say Benny Man. That's my first time. This is my first time of hearing this song, though. But wow, music made in the African port. That's what Starr Radio UK always brings you. Okay, now let me just take you straight to one of our callers who has joined us, Mr. Kofi Ali. And let's say good morning to you, Kofi.
Good morning, my brother Archie. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And you?
Oh, no, but yesterday I listened to you, and I couldn't stop laughing. You and Frank, really, there's a topic you discussed that is really challenging. However, I want to quickly, after saying good morning to all our listeners, and to your good self for being healthy and happy, and to come and sit in today to keep us all informed. I quickly want to say, sometimes I get confused about what is being African all about. Is it being mad? Because there are times you see us promoting insanity, not insanity, ghetto life. And then we turn around to say, oh, we are being African. I take an exception to that.
Okay.
The next thing I want to talk about is yesterday there was this discussion, very interesting, on who discovered something.
Who discovered? We were saying that our history books say, Christopher Columbus discovered that we have Don Diego de Azambuja who came to Ghana or the Gold Coast first. So you say, I discovered the Gold Coast. So they discovered us. And that's what we're talking about, that the history books need to be rewritten because we existed. We were there before they came.
When you say something is discovered, you understand? That is not saying that thing doesn't exist. Let us get our understanding right. What the thing is saying is that this thing was there, but who knew it was there? Among those who came there. Do you understand? So our ancestors, nobody has denied the continent of Africa never existed. Nobody is denying the moon doesn't exist. You understand? But when you come to the Europeans, as they have been able to come in and be part of what is happening. Remember, when they came, you understand? There is something we call uncharted land. There were kingdoms. They never denied that there are no kingdoms. Do you understand? But who created what we know now as Ghana, for example? Who named the place Gold Coast? This is what they are claiming. Do you understand?
Okay.
So they are claiming that they discovered River Niger. Yes. Mango Park discovered River Niger. That is not they saying there are no monkeys, human beings, and goats there. But those who are there are sharing information among themselves. Do you understand?
Yes, I get you there. But let me ask you a question pertaining to that. Now, do you think that, yes, among themselves, so they are sharing information among themselves, they say, oh, we discovered this place. Now, if we are teaching our people, do we have to say somebody discovered us? Do we have to come that way?
Nobody say they discovered us. What they are saying is to their own people. You understand? For example, if I'm going to describe God, I won't describe God in the image of somebody. I will describe God in the image of myself.
Of course.
If the Europeans are going to write Bible, they will not write the Bible in the context of the Africans or the Asians. They will write the Bible in the context of themselves because they are going to teach their children. Good. Now our children live here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we then asking these children to be taught a different history? When actually nobody's talking about whether somebody discovers something. We are talking about the future. Where are we going? How do you make the aeroplane? How do you go to space with them? Do we want to go back because we are blacks? Or because we are immigrants, like some people are saying? To start all over again, to reinvent the wheel when the car is already there? Why don't you think of how do we fit into where there is, where we are? After all, if somebody say they discover something, they are talking about the past.
Okay. I get you on that point. Now, you're talking about children who are here, our children or our kids who are here, who are still in the education system here. Okay, if because they are studying here, they will teach them what literature is here. Now, let's take a case. Now, go to your home country, Ghana. Now, let's look at it. Now, should the Ghanaians be also taught on the same standard that look, Columbus discovered America, or who Don Diego de Azambuja discovered the Gold Coast? Should it be that way?
Now, you know there is a saying that Mango Park discovered a river Niger.
Yeah.
But we all know that there are people who have been fishing on that river for millions of years.
Yeah.
Did they wrote any history down? Did they drew the map of where the river started from the Futajalo mountain to the Niger? Some of them may not even have navigated the river from the beginning to the end. Then somebody came and documented what he did. You see, everything you see in this world, all the inventions you see, somebody will have been doing something like that, but they didn't patent it.
Okay.
There is no record that they did it.
Okay.
Then one rich person will come and patent that thing and put his name on it and say he has a copyright.
Okay, I get you.
Why are you blaming the person who has done what is expected? And against somebody who is sitting there all the millions of years doesn't know what he's doing. Look at the oil. The oil has been in Ghana for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Gold has been there for... We don't know what to do about it too. We are sitting there. And then somebody came and he is able to turn the oil into finished product, right? And then making good money out of it. Are we then turning around to show people how irresponsible we are by arguing that but the oil belongs to us? It belongs to us. What did we do with it? The continent of Africa, yes, it belongs to us. Nobody will argue. What are we doing with it? Sitting down, fooling around, having babies. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all we know what to do. We cannot be able to have any sensible discussion. In fact, our understanding of everything is totally upside down. Let me start with
you. Yes, go on.
You see, it's being frank and honest with ourselves. It's not an insult. And we should understand that nobody will take us out of this mess but ourselves. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the meaning of the word development?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Improving upon something.
Development means to convert something from its crude form, its infantile form, its premature form, to a highly level of maturity. Do you understand? Some people will want to look at this in the context of time, from one time to another time. Somebody who is now, mature, but his maturity, you understand?
Yeah.
He grew, but his maturity is like a dwarf. Do you say that person is developed?
You've been placed on hold.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Kofi Ale I think he's having the call coming through. But hey, what do you think about what he's saying? Let's see whether he's there. Hello, Kofi.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, go on.
So somebody has developed, he has developed, his hands are short, his neck are short. Because I did what we call developmental economics.
Mm-hmm.
And developmental economics understand development differently from the way the layman understands development today in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So developmental economics is talking, when you talk about development, you're actually talking about not the symptoms of development, but development, the maturity of the people to be able to change themselves and their environment into a better organized people that are able to do great things. I don't know whether you understand.
Yeah, I get you there. But somebody will say development is subjective because what you see as development, some will see it as just the beginning. Absolute, just foundation. So some people will not call it development. So,
you see, don't let us make a mistake. We are all trying to talk about the same thing. And we should understand what we are talking about. We are talking about development of a people.
Okay.
Now, you see, when people are development, they're able to do a lot. Their area, their environment. You see, educated person, the way the environment that he lives is different from an illiterate. The reason is that once my brain is mature in a certain way. Now, what you are seeing, what most of you call development, are the product, the side effect, the effect of the development. Building of roads, big houses. Hello. Ready?
Okay. Listen to Starr Radio UK. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Kofi.
So let us wake up and stop this. Even Chinese don't develop anymore like that. Going to, what you call it, get someone to come and build road for you. After Europeans have done it for thousands of years, they'll come and build one tall church and one school. They call it Archbishop Road. And then we sit by it. We say we are developing. Our people, developed people. Develop people. When you develop people, they will develop anything. You understand?
Yeah.
We cannot say it that way. That is why we are debtors. And our economists are letting us down, seriously. Because the way they are analyzing, yesterday I was discussing, engaging with someone who was saying that, he said the problem we have in Ghana is because our export, we are not exporting enough. That is wrong. The quantity of bauxite, gold, oil that leave our shores in terms of quantity is very high. When you measure them on tons, plenty, but the value in money is less.
Yeah.
Good.
Because it's
So
primary, it's just a primary product that we are exporting.
Exactly, because we are exporting crude. They don't have value. And you see, one thing you have to know, when they say God, you meaning the ability of human beings to transform things.
Okay.
From their crude form into highly mature things. Consumables. Things that make life worth living. Things of higher values. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
That is what we are lacking. That is why we can't call ourselves Emmanuels. Because God is not with us, the devil is with us.
Kofi. Well, I'm not included there.
So you can remove yourself as you like. What do we call employment in Ghana? Our understanding of employment. What you see, nobody will come and tell us how to understand things. But what we choose to understand become our business. Yes. How do you classify a girl with a baby on the back with items on her head in a marketplace, carrying things up and down as an employed person? Do you classify a truck pusher in the marketplace wearing rags employment because people are paying him? In Ghana, these are employment. Child abuse, carrying things on her head. Is that employment? Because people are paying her? Then maybe even selling cocaine will have been employment because people pay them. Let us wake up. We say there's right to life, and it's our fundamental right. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right to life doesn't mean right to life of a donkey. Nobody will take us out of this mess. We must remove ourselves out of it.
Okay.
So we remember at the time of independence, the French-speaking countries, they said they were giving what you call independent conditional.
Yeah.
And the secretary said he wanted independent absolute independence.
Yeah.
You understand? And you remember secretary was punished by the French.
Yeah.
That exactly. And Kwame Nkrumah was saying we need unconditional independence. He wants unconditional. Secretary and Kwame Nkrumah belong to the same camp.
Yeah. I remember.
Good. If indeed we have ended up with that problem today, and we are sitting down in a world, this world, do you know there's something called nuclear
proliferation? Yeah.
What is it about, please? Educate me.
To stop the production of nuclear weapons or filling the whole world with lots of everybody coming out with there. So just
Thank you.
Yeah.
What they are saying is that those that have got it should keep it. But they should not encourage the production of, or they should be sensible and wise in how they engage with it. But those that don't have it should not do it. And those that don't have it must be discouraged by all means from doing it. And you can see.
Yeah.
The same thing is when you come to technological evolutions of the world. The understanding is that the consumption of the global resources, if the technology is in the hand of so many countries, do you understand?
Yeah.
The rate will be higher, and the resources, like they are saying global warming now, will be depleted. And therefore, certain countries and entities and people must be discouraged from getting technology. Yes. So you place what you call glass ceiling on them. You understand?
Yeah.
85% of Ghanaians. The last time I was in Ghana, you see someone sitting down. You know this mobile money.
Yeah.
Phone.
Yeah.
That one to sit down there in rags. That is working. Is that work? Why don't we also have the right to be making cars and aeroplanes? After all, we all use it. When the slogan, the African must produce what the African consumes. Have you heard that slogan before?
Yes.
It's the use of car, not consumption.
Oh, of course it is.
Is African not using the car?
We are.
Why is African have to continue to accept the fate of being excluded from producing what he consumes?
And like you said, they put a glass ceiling there so that we all do it. We are going to cause pollution of the atmosphere. So
there is a glass ceiling because those who are making the cars are not stupid. They know it's job for their children. Now Chinese is making cars.
Yeah.
Come to London, you see all the buses in London. These green buses.
Yeah.
Right. New small, but they are all BYD. BYD is a Chinese brand. Because the Chinese, by their weight and power, you see, you're right as a human being, or you're right as a people, to self-determination. You understand? Depend upon your strength. You are weak, the world will take advantage of you. And you have the choice. Nobody, you have proven that, nobody can stop anyone who is determined from doing what is right. But if you choose to have conditional independence and sit down there, and every morning we talk and talk and talk, waste of ourselves and time. Boy, we can continue. We can continue. Chinese will never solve this problem for us. If they solve the problem, who will be sending the bauxite to them? A whole town given to Chinese. Come and take the bauxite away. They're not stupid.
Wow.
Yes, they are competing with the Europeans.
Yes.
So that they will get a favorable deal for their children.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump is shouting that the Chinese are stealing their patent, their technology, and so on and so forth, he's saying that the American industries are dying. American youth will not have jobs. He's going to fight for the Americans. Who is fighting for you and I?
That is
You
another
have a
question.
degree, you have your PhD, you end up in London driving, and you think you are employed. In economics, we call that one underemployment, because that's not what you are trained to do. You are underemployed. You are not maximizing the exploitation of your potential.
Okay, I like that bit. Yeah, you said not maximizing your potential. That is good, but you say that is not.
And
You
God
are.
tells people like that, because God, as you believe it, has given you that. Millions of people are expected to depend on you. Yes, we are not the same. We have different ability by the creation of God. But if we are given this and we sit down, all we do, abusing our own people, deceiving them, telling lies, okay? Then let me be honest with you. God is waiting for us. In fact, I even believe you people believe in hellfire. A lot of us should be ready
For hellfire. Okay. Kofi, sum up and then let me leave you.
You know, I'm joking. I do bring in jokes.
Yes,
Because,
yes.
Serious issues, sometimes when we are over serious and over, we then scare people. They won't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Not that you want to entertain anyone living early in the morning to the studio.
No.
To do what you are. Not that you want to actually, but then sometimes it calls for it.
Oh, of course.
So that people will be in a lighter mood to hear
To
the
listen.
truth.
Yeah.
Because people don't. Sometimes people they don't want someone to really put pressure on them.
Yeah. They already have pressure wherever they are.
They already have pressure, even though what you are saying may be the truth.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's true.
Sometimes, like the Bible said, man does not live by the bread
alone,
but by the word. When Jesus brought them onto the mountain, he was trying to tell them something very serious, but he fed them.
Yes, of course.
He gave them food. Because sometimes, you see, you need to play along. For example, when we talk about culture, we are getting the meaning of the word totally wrong. Do you know that when we say culture, we mean olden way of doing things?
Today we don't want to talk about culture again.
No. You see, we black people, let's use the word black people, we have this funny way of giving things different meaning and misusing them.
No, operational definition. Now they think that in their context, when they say culture, this is what it means. You can't say no.
When we have important people, we go and bring children out of school and tie them with grass around their waist to be jumping and falling down, and we put some things on their face and we say that's our culture.
Gofi, it's okay. Today we're not talking about culture here.
No. I want to show how we do joke.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is serious. Very, very serious. Serious in the sense that we need to understand we are competing with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We are competing as groups. And the way we understand things determine the way we go about it. If you understand sugar to be what you call it, salt, you will use, where you need salt, you will use sugar. Because of your understanding, the way you saw it. Do you understand? And where you need salt, you understand, you use sugar. Because that is what you thought it is. And you'll be getting the result wrong.
Okay.
The fact that you are doing what is wrong will not make it right. And it's mad and insane to continue to do things wrong and be getting it wrong. And every day you are doing the same thing.
Same old.
And when we're young, they say when they take you to asylum, now even the asylum will learn they've closed it because there's no resources to maintain the place. Yeah? The madmen are all over the place. The churches have tied them down, beating them. They said, you see, when they take you to asylum to verify that you are mad, they'll give you a basket. They say be pouring water into it. When you continue, they say, he's mad. Let's deal with him as a madman. But when you say, no, you are not going to do it, they
know that this one is not mad proper.
You understand? That's how they test. That's what we know as children when we're growing.
Yeah, I remember they say that.
And
yeah.
this is what we do every day today in Ghana. Every day we wake up, every day. The same people, the same thing. We go and sit on television, talk about the same nonsense. You go to Ghana and you sit down in the morning listening to them, watching them, and say, hey, what is this? What is this? On Independence Day, you go to Katamanto and you see how people are suffering. And then we go and bring one old helicopter. And then let people be jumping from that helicopter. Second-hand helicopter bought from somebody. And then we are being independent. You see our soldiers are great. Soldiers are great. Is that greatness? I think we have a serious problem. Serious. But sad enough, we don't see it as a serious because it has all become a total joke. Serious one. Those we see there, Archie.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, they are not solving any problem. They don't have any problem to solve. UNDC will come, MPP will come, the so-called dollar money for they can't do any. There's no economy. The economics are collapsed. So what they are doing, they say they are going to introduce new currency. They are not even discussing the new currency with the people. Everybody is quiet. So one day these people will sit down, you dump the currency over them.
Well,
by now, if in 1 year, we remember when the euro was going to be introduced. 3, 4, 5 years in advance, they've been drumming it. People were ready. In Ghana, the Ghanaian will wake up one morning, maybe 1 week in advance, they tell them, and then before you know, they start holding a currency they don't know where it's coming from.
See, this is echo.
So we see something is wrong with us. Something is fundamentally, by now, the people should have been engaging, preparing them psychologically. The city they've been spending and using for almost 62 years of independence. That is the money we know. If you are going to change these things, how do you need to get the people involved? We are not involved. We are like donkeys. Nobody will care about us anyway. When they finish, they come to us. Who are that day? Even professors come on air to discuss economics and they are talking about rescuing the city. The city is going to the gutter. The city has collapsed. Because all we are doing is go to IMF and World Bank, go and borrow money. You understand? As soon as we borrow money, then the city will start having value. Because the people are doing nothing. How can Kayayo add value to anything? Kayayo, who is carrying the grass, like a donkey carrying load. How can that donkey be adding value to anything? Moving goods from one place to another in the age. Oh, all we've done is to replace the donkey we used to use with our own children to be carrying it. By now, look, in London, in the whole of Europe, you move from the beginning to you not see anyone who will carry anything on their head. Movements have been created. Cars are there. Baggies are pushed. Everywhere they've done it. In our case, our own children have become the slaves, the animals, replacing the donkeys. Where are we going with this?
Okay, Kofi, let's end that. Yes.
Look, you know that it is degrading. It's dehumanizing to put something on your head. That is where your brain is. And you put blood on the brain.
We had a whole professor, this is saying that the head, he asked the question, what is the head used for? So for carrying things.
Carrying things. Carrying other people's problems.
So that is what they are doing.
So you are actually solving problems for other people useless problem. When in the day where you have the machine to do that job, in the day where you are even making computers so that the computer can be, the calculator can do the addition, even phone are doing the addition so that the burden on the brain will reduce. We are busy using our head for carrying things in the marketplace.
Wow. Kofi.
Are we not in trouble? You see, me, my own is, you know something. The problem, you see, I can't solve it alone. No. I'm not even praying to God to be able to solve it alone. Because it can never be done.
Yeah, you want all hands on deck. Yeah.
All hands must be on deck. So if something happened and I pass away, then how do we solve
the vision? Yeah.
Then it dies. So I don't want to be the person person who wants to solve this problem. I want to be part of those who want to solve this problem.
Wow.
So that when I'm not dead, other great people will continue.
Of course. Of course.
I don't have forever to live. I don't. One thing I know I don't own and control is my own life. That I decide when I want to. I can't decide that one because I didn't decide when to have it. Why should I decide when to be the one who finishes it? I cannot predict that. My right to life says nobody must intentionally kill me except by accident or a disease that have no solution.
Yeah.
Yes, the only one who can kill me is my government.
Yeah.
They go to the court and judge and conclude that whatever they do, I can't be able to be useful as a human being because I'll only be killing others and denying them their own right to life. That is when they'll conclude that man must be eliminated. But before then, nobody, and I must be protected.
Of course.
And I must be encouraged by having my job because when you are earning, you have income, you have resources, you have the opportunity of giving yourself a more opportunity of surviving than when you are not.
Kofi, we have to end that conversation there. So we'll come back to that. It's interesting. I like it when you come on and you seem to be championing the cause that we need to know who we are. We need to be united. We need to look forward. We need to do something to improve upon our own lives. But well, as whether people are listening to us this way and are going to come on board, like you said, all hands on deck, it's another thing. But we want to urge each and every one of us to just put our heads together, like Kofi always championed the cause of the ECOWAS and this thing that if we come together, we can do something. We can make bigger waves. Why don't we look at that? But listeners, that is Mr. Kofi Ali. Kofi, before you go, what do you want to say?
Quickly, I want to also re-emphasize that we are together already. Please don't let us go back to where we are. We are already together.
Okay.
But how to make that togetherness work for us?
Okay.
Is what is the problem?
Okay.
We are together. You understand?
Yes.
So if we come together, it means we are planning to come together. No.
We are together. But how do we make that unity work in our favor?
How do we get the people on the street to be part, you and I, to be part of that togetherness? That is to feel to have a sense of ownership, to take ownership of the togetherness, to be that togetherness. Because you know something, the Bible is very clear on this. It says, "Ye are gods." It is us who change the world. Our world. We are the world. So it is us who have to do something. But that something is always there. The glory of God is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's left for man. It's left for man to turn the glory into a blessing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Ali. Thank you very much. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Like I announced to you earlier on, exactly at 1 o'clock, I'll be having Mr. Mike Dillon coming your way with the Caribbean Focus program. So you got to stay tuned and don't even think of touching the dial. I'll bring you some lovely music and then we continue with some of the stories making their rounds. Just stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yeah.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now just gone 18 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me say tick-tock, tick-tock. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be bringing the program to a close. And of course, we'll be having in the seat Mr. Mike Dillion bringing you the Caribbean Focus program. When it comes to the teen music, it comes to all the news that is making the rounds in the Caribbean area. My goodness, just stay tuned. It's going to make sure he brings you every detail of it. But that is Lord Kenya saying Sikampo. On the African continent this morning or today, the cyclone Ida, South Africa, UN calls support for Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. The story says, now South Africa, Southern Africa continues counting the devastating impact of the cyclone Ida, which has battered parts of Mozambique and Zimbabwe, as well as Malawi. And it goes on further to say, the call for assistance has started trickling in. South Africa's International Relations and Cooperation Minister Lindwe Sisulu on Monday launched a request for help from local non-governmental organizations and individuals. The appeal was to make donations towards humanitarian aid for the people of Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique affected by the tropical cyclone Ida. I don't have any problem with this appeal that they are making, but the question is, how is it going to get to the ground for those who actually need it to get it? Are they now going to put on their political spectacles or tribal spectacles or whatever to be looking at it? But well, we hope to see. We're following that story very closely. In Algeria, Algeria's Bouteflika are ready to hand over opposition invited to poll preps. He says that the Algerian president, Abdelaziz Bouteflika, has agreed to hand over power to an elected president, and the opposition will be allowed to take part in the cabinet that will oversee election, the country's new deputy prime minister said on Monday. Speaking at a news conference in Moscow with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Ramatan Lanamara said the Algerian government had responded to the legitimate demands of the Algerian people. They went on further to say Bouteflika early last week announced that he was not going to seek a controversial fifth term as president. The move was meant to quell weeks of anti-government protests. Now, the government also appointed a new prime minister, but the move did little to placate protesters who continue to protest, calling Bouteflika to step down. Not even promises of electoral and political reforms will convince the adamant protesters. Political watchers hold the latest development, whilst being significant awaits the response of protest movements. Most independent groups refused to join efforts at formation of a new government, the reason being that they wanted to stand by the people and want nothing to do with the government. So do you think that's the way forward? Should the opposition and all the others join in to make sure that their voices are heard properly? Or should they just go solo? Or just be with the, what do you call them, the citizens, just to show their disinterest or their dislike for the incumbent? But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, when it comes to the Cameroon, the pro-government group in Cameroon are protesting that they call an interference in Cameroon's internal affairs. It comes as Tibor Nagy, a top U.S. diplomat, visits the country. But amidst their protests, it's also a call from opposition groups and personalities from the religious sphere and the civil society through a common declaration known as the Citizen Front, asking the international community to stand by of the Cameroonian people and to enforce the various commitments made by the state of Cameroon. Star Radio UK. 12:48 at the time. Okay, so money talks and BS walks, But although the perpetrators that is talking about no prosecution since 2006, police military brutalities on journalists, and as I sit here, I need to be an advocate for them as well, champion in that same cause. The story says what? Although perpetrators in some of the cases are identified, the cases are settled sometimes with apologies. Now, no single security person has been prosecuted for the attacks on more than 25 journalists and media employees since 2006. Although the perpetrators in some of the cases are identified, the cases are settled sometimes with apologies. Can you believe that? Now, in most cases, however, no compensation is paid, while the security organizations involved promise to offer better working relations with the media. Now, checks by the Daily Graphic have revealed a tall list of victims, including reporters, journalists, station managers, and editors who have been brutally assaulted by soldiers and policemen. Some of the attacks have left journalists with serious medical conditions. For instance, the Daily Graphic Victor Kwaukome has lost his sense of smell as a result of being beaten by the whole police while covering a swap on criminals. In another instance, Mr. Latif Idrisu, a journalist with the multimedia group, was left with a fractured skull, although the police had brutally assaulted him in front of the Criminal Investigation Department, that the CID headquarters in Accra, while reporting on a protest by some members of the National Democratic Congress against the detention of the then Deputy General Secretary of the party, Mr. Koku Anyedeho, in 2018. So we see all these beatings and brutalities meted out to journalists. And all that happens after that is that they say, we are sorry, and that comes to an end. Interesting. That's why Mr. Kofi Ali will say, what kind of world are we living in? We've enacted lots of laws. However, we're not able to see them through. When I say see them through, we're not able to implement them. Interesting. Now, finally, let me bring you one story from Ghana as well. The GCB has sacked 164 former UT Capital Bank staff over WASI and SSC results. Now, why have they done that? Some 164 of the defunct UT and Capital Bank staff who were absorbed by the GCB Bank have been sacked from company over the secondary school's results. In order not to miss anything on that front, I put on my glasses. Now, even though some of the affected personnel have proceeded to acquire a master's degree, they are being sacked over their WASI and SEC results, a former staff of the defunct bank has told a news reporter. Now, some of our colleagues were also absorbed by GCB and later given termination letters. It means they have been laid off twice. There are 164 of them affected by the action. The termination letter did not state the reasons why they were being dismissed. The GCB mentioned some of our colleagues failed their exams. Interesting. In the quote, he said, we have asked GCB to publish results of these staff who were laid off but they have not been able to do so. As we speak, we want GCB to respond to our letters so we can know the way forward. Said by Raymond Aqua. Now, interesting, the interesting thing here is that when the banks were, that's the UT and the Capital Banks were, liquidated, they came out with, government came out that, look, the GCB that was taking over those banks was going to, provide employment to the staff. So nobody should worry. The staff are going to be protected. Yes, they took them on. The next moment, they do all these inquiries pertaining to whether they are results or whatever, as to whether they are underneath the requirement that the GCB put out, or where staff requirements are when it comes to educational or certificate levels. As to whether that is what they were looking at is another question. But hey, now 164 of them have been effectively laid off. That is for the second time. And what do we have government to say about that? I tell you that tomorrow I'll be bringing that your way. But it is now time for me to bow out. It's been a pleasure coming your way once again. But like I said earlier on, exactly more at 1 o'clock, we have no other person than Mike Dillion, who is already in the house, who will be joining us and be bringing you the Caribbean Focus programs. On that note, let me say, have a top of the day. It's been me, the one and only Archie, saying stay safe and don't touch the dial. Bye-bye for now.
All around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Thanks to